Entertainment Soldier here, and I'm back to talk about the Disney's new Marvels film and my thoughts on it. Wow. I mean, wow. This film was fucking awful. Like, wow. Disney, you had the balls to release this. I mean, wow. This film was terrible. It was rushed. The story was boring. The characters in this film are fucking either annoying or cringe. It is insane this got released. And my God, you can tell stuff has been taken out of this film. You can tell this film has been rushed. This film just feels like it just feels empty. And the jokes, my fucking God, Marvel, can we have one fucking scene where you don't have to make a joke? You really don't. Could you stop with the jokes, Marvel? Please stop with the fucking jokes. It is so fucking annoying. Every scene, every time. Oh my God. And Fury. Oh fucking hell. I mean, that character is just dead. That character is dead. It is a joke. Now, Fury is not threatening. Fury is not intimidating. Fury is nothing anymore. When you used to see Fury in the Marvel movies, it felt important. He felt badass. He felt like he controlled the room. In this, he feels like a fucking side character throughout the film. And this has to be this has to be the most he's ever been in a Marvel film. I think. I mean, he was in The Winter Soldier for a bit, but I feel like he was in this film more. And it was just terrible. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson, I mean, what the fuck, man? You've just let them destroy that character to the point it's ridiculous to have him in films now. Oh, Jesus. Let's talk about the two other characters, Miss Marvel and Monica. Oh, shit. What the hell do you want me to say about these two? Like, if you haven't watched their shows, and I know Monica didn't have her own show. Hold on. She was in that fucking Vision Witch show. And I'm just saying, it's just... Oh, God. The way she gets her powers is also ridiculous. Like, she walked through a fucking energy field and gets all this power. Okay, that's an origin story, I guess. But what I would say about the character of Monica, I mean, she's just there. Okay, she is just there. She has some moments with Captain Marvel, and she's there to kind of give you the science stuff in some scenes, but it just feels like she's a bit of an extra. It feels like the story is trying to concentrate more on Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel's relationship. Yes, they do sometimes head over the relationship between Captain Marvel and Monica, but they do focus a lot more on Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. So, like, the best I could say about Monica is she's an okay actress. That's the best I can fucking do. Like, that's all she was. She was just an okay actress in this film. It's still a terrible film, but I'll give her credit that she can act, at least. Miss Marvel, I didn't watch a show. I cannot be asked to watch Disney Marvel shows anymore. I only watched one this year, and it was the fucking Secret Invasion, and that was bloody shit. So I'm not going to go back and watch a fucking show, especially after watching this. Now, I'll give the actress credit. She hasn't had any problems with X, and she hasn't fucking gone on a rampage of saying, if you're a man and don't like this film, you're sexist. I mean, she could still do it, but she hasn't done that. She seems to have a little bit more respect for Marvel fans and fans of this genre, so I'll give her credit for that. As for her acting, again, she can act, I guess. There you go. I mean, the character itself is very fucking cringe, because it's just, I mean, for fuck's sake, it's a cosplay for fucking Captain Marvel. That's all she is. That's all her character basically is. It's like, most of this fucking film is just her fucking, you know, looking up to her idol, and it's just, I don't care. I get it. She's a fan of Captain Marvel. I get it. Could we get on with the fucking film now? So, no disrespect to the actress. She's okay, but the character just seems boring. And there just doesn't feel like there's anything there. And her final scene in this fucking film has to be the most cringiest scene of the film for her. Because it was so ridiculous to copy that scene from Iron Man. And I know they're trying to play it off as a joke, but please, that's just not funny. And you can't do that scene with Miss Marvel. You can't. You just can't take the scene seriously if it's just her. But I'll get into that into the spoilers. But let's go to the main character, the real leader of this so-called team, Captain Marvel. Brie Larson. What the hell do I say about her? I mean, it's been funny seeing her career kind of plummet. It's been funny to see all the shit she was saying, you know, previously has pretty much come back to haunt her. It was funny seeing her on the red carpet, you know, going crazy and asking if people wanted to play the character. You know, she's been kind of hilarious because it's been like, yeah, it's very obvious that she knows this character has really fucked her career up. And it does look and sound like she's kind of very bitter about that. As for her acting in this film, I would say she's the worst of the three, personally. There are scenes where she does overact. There are other scenes where she's okay. And there are scenes in this film that you can obviously tell she is trying to get the male gaze. Let's be honest. I mean, those tight white t-shirts she was wearing. Please. Please. I mean, come on now. I'm not a fucking moron. I know what you're doing there. And yeah, she has a great pair of tits. I'm not going to deny it. Love the stomach stuff as well. I mean, yeah. But is that enough to get me to say this movie is fantastic? That's because I just saw a good pair of tits? No. Her acting's still shit. Her fucking character is still shit. I mean, in this movie, they pretty much prove that Captain Marvel is technically a fucking villain. I mean, well done the writers of this film, because wow, you have really fucked Brie Larson up in this film. It's an achievement. I mean, I thought the fucking scene from the first Captain Marvel film when she robs that motorbike guy was kind of harsh, but this, wow. Yeah. I mean, Captain Marvel is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, this film pretty much proves that Carol Danvers should not be in charge of the Avengers. Oh, but, yeah, that's the best I could do. She is the worst of the three. And I'm not saying this because I want clicks or, you know, so obvious to say that. No, she just was. Like, she was on screen the most. She was supposed to be a lead character in this film. I mean, again, this film was supposed to be the second Captain Marvel movie, but they kind of lost confidence in her. That's why they had to bring in fucking Miss Marvel and fucking Monica. So, you know, shows how much Disney actually had faith in this movie. But by the way, it is so fucking telling in this film that Disney just gave up on it. It really feels like they just gave up. It was just like, cut the money, finish what you've done, and just get to the fucking finish line. Because that's what most of this movie felt like. It felt rushed, it felt incomplete at some minutes, and the end fight scene has to be the quickest final fight scene I've ever seen in Marvel movie history. It was that quick. But as I am talking about the final fight scene, let's talk about the bad guy in this film. Dar-Benn. The bad guy, the person who these three need to team up to defeat. Was this a good bad guy, or was this regular Marvel shit bad guy? I'm sorry to say, it's a shit Marvel bad guy. And by the way, when I heard it was a fucking woman who was going to be the main bad guy in this film, I think everybody like me realised what was going to happen. She wasn't going to be a real bad guy. She wasn't going to be an actual villain. She was going to have a sympathetic story that would make up for all of her bad, moves, all of her bad mistakes. And yes, that was exactly what they did in this film. They pretty much said, yes, she's a bad guy, but there are reasons for it. They were literally excusing her. I mean, what the fuck? And the way she ends in this film is so fucking ridiculous. I mean, you literally had a plan. I can't go into spoilers, but oh my god, the ending of this film is, well, the end fight and how it ends is just, it's so stupid. It's like, it didn't need to happen that way. As for the actress, not great. I'm sorry, not great. I've seen this actress play in different things. I've seen her actually achieve, I've seen her be a better actress. I've seen her play in a fucking film called Cops, where she was playing an drug addict copper. Like, I've seen her do better in other films. So, seeing her in this and how she's acting in it, it's just, I've seen her do better. I've seen her do better. And there are some people saying because she's going out with a certain person, Loki, she may have gotten, that may be the reason she got the role. So, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really care, but I mean, I'd probably say, yeah, she probably was fucking somebody to get the role. I've just got to be honest at that point. But overall, this movie, it's a dud. And I do think this movie is going to fail. I get it, we're only in the first week, but come on now. Come on now. Next week, fucking, or at least in a couple of weeks, it's going to have 1 week of a freedom to be on its own, and then Napoleon's coming out. Like, that's going to take over all the fucking theatres, and most of the crowds are going to head to that film. And Marvel's already losing so many, viewing numbers. They're already losing so much to the audience. This film is going to tank. It's going to flop. And, yeah, because this is just crap. And let's be honest, why did Brie Larson's first Captain Marvel film make $1 billion? Because it was put in the most strategic place between Infinity War and Endgame. There was no way that movie was going to fail. There was no way that movie was not going to make $1 billion. Back when the times when Disney could throw out a fucking Marvel movie and get guaranteed $1 billion. This is not the case anymore. This film is terrible. It's badly written. It's badly directed. It's just bad. And again, it is so fucking obvious that Disney just gave up on this film. This film should not have gone to cinemas. This film should have just gone to Disney Plus. because I think the only audience that are even going to enjoy this are going to be the people who bothered watching all of those fucking Disney shows and give a shit about Miss Marvel. Because I don't really think Monica has a big fan base. I don't know, but she was only a side character in the Vision show. So, yeah, this film, it ain't got a good future ahead of it. It's going to bomb. And it's just going to be hilarious to see the defense of this film. Because we're already seeing it right now. You know, the whole, well, if you're a man, you can't really have an opinion on this because you're a man. And all the hatred towards, you know, Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. You could keep saying that shit, but that's not going to change the numbers. That's not going to get people to go to the cinema. This film's going to bomb. Accept it and move on. And Brie Larson, you really need to go find a different character. You really need to go somewhere else, because you want to. This character could destroy your career. I mean, that's just facts. So let's get on to my rating out of 10. I mean, a 1, to be very generous. I get it's just a terrible film. That's it. Nothing interesting happens. Nothing amazing. Just nothing. It's just a dud. That's it. A 1 out of 10. So, let's get into the spoilers now. If you don't want to hear spoilers, leave in 3, 2, 1. So, this movie starts off at some random planet where Dabine is looking for something on some rock, and she finds this bracelet, and apparently this bracelet is very powerful. And when she gets it, it turns out there are 2 bracelets, and this bracelet is very powerful, and it's enough to help her defeat Captain Marvel and to save her race. Apparently, that's what you find out in the first scene. We then go back to Earth, where we see Miss Marvel, the Khan woman. You know, we get this whole, scene where she fantasizes about fighting with Captain Marvel, and you get this whole drawing thing, which is pretty much a massive rip-off from either the Spider-Verse or from Spider-Man stuff. Because, come on now, that was definitely taken from Spider-Man. They did it first. But anyway, I mean, maybe they do this in a show, I don't fucking know. But anyway, so she's pretty much like having a little dream session. Her mum's calling her from downstairs, and she's, you know, just being a child and, you know, just doing what children do. We also meet up with Captain Marvel, who's on patrol, trying to figure out, or she's on some sort of mission somewhere, trying to find the Kree or something, or stop the Kree or something. I mean, I gotta be honest, there were parts where I nearly fell asleep, so I was kind of, and this was at the start of the fucking film. And I kind of gotta admit, I got there a bit too early. I thought there'd be a queue for the first day. There was no queue at the cinema. So I was literally stuck in a fucking movie theatre on my own for a fucking hour before about 5 to 6 people turned up. So, yeah, that was fucking boring. But, yeah, so Captain Marvel is on some random mission, and then we see Fury on his space station working with Monica, and Monica's outside been fixing some part of the space station, Shark or something, or Star or something, I don't fucking know what it's called. And yeah, and then somehow one of them activates their powers, and we then get the whole scene of them switching between each other. Khan switches with Monica, and Monica switches with Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel switches with Miss Marvel and goes directly into her closet. There was some scenes where you kind of thought her and Captain Marvel and Monica, are they are they trying to go out with each other? Is this some sort of gay bait? I mean, it did kind of feel that in some cases. Like, if you're going to make him gay, just make him gay. But it is kind of a weird relationship since Captain Marvel's known her since she was a child, and it would kind of feel a bit more like a grooming situation at that point. I'm just saying. But anyway, so yeah, they switch between each other. Monica has a fight with a bunch of Kree guards that Captain Marvel was fighting, and then it just all goes to shit, and they all switch with each other, and then eventually Kamala Khan switches with Captain Marvel or Monica, and then grabs two of the Kree, who then drop into her house, and they have another fight with each other, and they're kind of confused on what the hell is going on, like what's with all the power shifting shit. And yeah, we get this massive fight in Kamala Khan's house, where then Captain Marvel shows up and fights the Kree. It was kind of just a messy scene, and really just like, what the fuck is going on? And then there was a scene where Fury fights some of the Kree that, you know, get transported on his ship, and yeah. And then the fight ends with the Kree either getting killed or getting arrested. And Monica then is transported back to the space station, where her and Fury head down to speak to Kamala Khan, because they kind of need to figure out what the fuck's going on. And when they get to Miss Marvel's house, they, you know, pretty much trying to figure out again what's going on. And I think it was Monica who kind of figured out when they use their powers, or at least at some stage of when they use their powers, if they use it at the exact same time, that's how they will, you know, transport, you know, that's how they get transported with each other. And yeah, that's why they keep, you know, switching between each other. It's just their powers are somehow getting connected with each other, which is basically just because Darbine is kind of fucking up the universe, but okay. So they all have to head out to kind of meet up with Captain Marvel, I think. Oh no, that's not how it went. Yeah, before that, yeah. Monica talks to Miss Marvel. They figure out about the switching power stuff, and then Kamala Khan is switched with Captain Marvel again. We also had the scene between Fury and Monica, where Monica didn't want to talk to Captain Marvel because she's a bit pissed off with Captain Marvel, because apparently when she was a kid, Captain Marvel promised to be back quicker than anything, and she still holds it against Captain Marvel, even though she's, what, in her 30s or 40s right now? Get over it. Like, Captain Marvel had something to do. Why are you holding a grudge for that fucking long? Anyway, so, yeah. Captain Marvel then realises that she's, you know, meeting, well, she realises that's Monica, and she knew her mother and all that shit, and they're kind of very awkward with each other at first, but then they kind of realise there's something more important at, you know, stake here, and need to focus on that. Captain Marvel then flies away and tries to get back to where she was with fighting the Kree, but unfortunately Kamala Khan uses her powers, and she is then dropping through the sky, because Captain Marvel was in the sky. I mean, she was flying in the air, and that's when they switch again. And so Kamala Khan is literally dropping to her death, basically. And then we figure out, because Fury pretty much tells Monica she needs to fly and save Miss Marvel, but she kind of doesn't think she can do it. She hasn't tested it yet, blah, 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 blah. And then Fury says, "Black girl magic." Okay, and apparently that works, because then she's able to fly. And when she gets up to Kamala Khan, she tries to grab her, but it turns out when she's flying and using her powers, she's well, she's pretty much a ghost. Like, if she tries to grab Kamala Khan, she's just going straight through her, and so yeah, she's not going to be able to save Kamala Khan. So she deactivates her powers, grabs Kamala Khan, but they're still both falling. Kamala Khan tries to use like her powers to kind of build like rocks or something to slow them down, but that doesn't work. And then somehow Captain Marvel uses her powers at the same time Miss Marvel does, and they switch. And that's how Kamala Khan is saved, because they switched positions again. But then they are both captured by the Kree, who are pretty angry at Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel pretty much destroyed the Kree. That's why they call her the Destroyer, which Captain Marvel was kind of pissed off with them calling her that. And again, Carol Danvers, you don't really get to choose what your enemy calls you. It's kind of a thing with that. Like get over it. They're going to call you the Destroyer because you literally destroyed their world. So in this, you pretty much find out that the Kree have pretty much become a desolate people because of what Captain Marvel did to them. Apparently Captain Marvel destroyed their AI, and that AI was pretty much, controlling their world, and without the AI, their planet was starting to die. Their sun was dying, they had no water, and their air was leaving the atmosphere. So Captain Marvel pretty much brought these people to their knees, to the point they now have to somehow find a way to, get all of this very, very much needed resources. I mean, these resources that they need. So, yes, it's all Carol Danvers' fault that everything in this movie that happens, or the bad stuff at least, it's all Captain Marvel's fault. Completely. And then the bad guy, Darbean, is there. We get to talk about how the bracelet's going to help them create the Kree and help them survive. And, when they find out about the Destroyer being there, they were also at the same time trying to make a alliance or a peace deal with the Skrulls, so that they can share their air and, can try to rebuild Hala. But when Carol Danvers kind of attacks them, they blame the Kree for this. And so when Captain Marvel, I think, comes back and saves Kamala Khan and Monica, they try to head down to the planet to talk to the Kree, but when they get there, the Skrulls, but then the Kree come, and the woman, Darbean, pretty much tells them, you've broken our alliance, you're now going to pay for that, and we're now going to steal your air. So she activates a portal, it sucks up all their air, and now Captain Marvel, who's pretty much fucked up again, needs to save whoever she can, or at least whatever she can of the Skrulls, on all the transports that they have left. She saves what she could, but there is one scene I actually did like, where, Kamala Khan is getting all the people she can on the ship. They need to take off because the planet's pretty much getting fucked up, and with the air being sucked out, there's limited chance you're going to be able to escape, so they have to leave straight away. And Kamala Khan sees people are still on the planet, and she thinks they're going to have to wait for them. And Carol Danvers turns to her and says, we can't wait for them. And they lift off and leave what's left of the civilians to die. And I thought it was kind of a good scene, because it kind of showed Kamala Khan, like, yes, heroes, you can be heroic, but at some point you have got to make the very, very hard choices. So I did like that scene. But anyway, so, yeah, the Kree have just stolen the air, killed a lot of Skrulls, and now the Skrulls are homeless again, and now they need to find somewhere to live. The Skrulls are pretty pissed off at Captain Marvel because he's just made things worse for them. They're about to have a peace deal with the Kree, and she's just destroyed that, and now she needs to find somewhere to keep the Skrulls for now. And so we get this really, really shit cameo, and it was a shit cameo, of all the people. King Valkyrie. Oh my god. Yes, that's who we wanted to see. Tessa fucking Thompson. That's who we wanted to see in this film. Oh god, of all the female characters you could have brought back, her. I mean, I still don't understand why you call her a king. She's a woman, so it'd be a queen. But again, apparently that's sexist. Why can only men be kings? Because that's the fucking word for it. If you have a king, it's a man. If you have a queen, it's a fucking woman. How is this a fucking thing? I mean, seriously, feminists. Like, why is this a thing now in Hollywood where you're going to call, people, women who are in charge of kingdoms, kings? Like, you do understand the word queen is as powerful as the word king, right? I mean, why do you hate female words so much? That is so fucking weird. I come from a country where we had a queen. She was the most powerful person in the UK. Like, what is with this fucking word with you people? Why are feminists so fucking retarded? Seriously, why is she called King Valkyrie? It makes no fucking sense. Just call her queen. Is that too feminine for her or something? Oh my god. Anyway, so King Valkyrie comes on. Apparently her and Captain Marvel know each other. I mean, apparently they do. I don't fucking know how. Maybe it was in a show. Maybe it was in some comic book. Who fucking cares? And she's just there to pick up the fucking scrolls and to take them back to Earth, because that's where they're fucking. That's where she is. Which, by the way, so after we had the whole secret invasion situation, humanity's not going to be told anything about this. About the fact a shitload more scrolls have just arrived on Earth. I get the fucking Atlanteans are fucking, there and humanity's okay with it, but are they okay with scrolls? I mean, what the fuck? So when I was watching this film, I could not help but remember the fucking secret invasion thing. It's like the world's just declared war on the scrolls, but you're bringing a shitload more to Earth? That's just dumb. But anyway, so she gives little pep talks to Captain Marvel to get her to work with the other two, because apparently she was kind of struggling with that. Fuck knows why. And so she agrees. King Valkyrie takes the scrolls back to Earth, and then we get this crappy scene between Kamala Khan, Monica, and Captain Marvel, where they're trying to. Where I get it, Kamal she's very, she's happy. She's with her idol. She wants them to become a team. Monica is kind of still pissed off about the childhood stuff. And Captain Marvel is kind of like, doesn't really want to be in a team anymore, because the last time she was on a team, that team tried to kill her. But, yeah, okay. And so we go through this whole bullshit plot. They're trying to think up names for each other, or Miss Marvel's trying to think up a new name because she feels like she's stealing Captain Marvel's name. Okay, then, Kamala Khan remembers that she saw pictures from the scroll computer. She can't really remember anything though, because it was only a quick glance. So Captain Marvel reveals that she has these torture devices that she's deactivated, that if they put it on their heads, they can look back in the past. And Carol's been using this to try to recover some of her memories. And that's the backstory on that. So they put on the torture devices, or at least the disabled torture devices, and look back through each other's past to try to find Kamal's past to see what she saw on the computer. But the scene pretty much turns into Captain Marvel remembering a scene between her and Monica's mum, where Monica's mum tells her about a cancer returning, and how Captain Marvel kind of feels guilty because apparently in a certain time period when she got her powers, it could have actually gone to Monica's mum instead, and that may have saved her life from the cancer. So Captain Marvel has survivor's guilt, and when Monica's mum says that she should take care of Monica before she dies, or when she dies, Captain Marvel's kind of very standoffish. She doesn't want to do that. And while she's remembering this memory, it's making Monica very uncomfortable because her mum did die and she was not there because of the blip. So her mum technically did die alone, not knowing where her daughter was, and that's a very sore issue for Monica. And Captain Marvel apologizes to her. Kamal gives her a hug about, saying sorry about her mum and all that stuff. And, yeah. So they figure out where the Kree are going. They're going to some random planet where it has a lot of water, because that's another thing they need. They didn't just need air, they needed water. We go back to the Kree where Darbine gives her people back their air, and so they don't have to wear respirator masks anymore. And it's pretty much where you're pretty much seeing that this woman isn't a villain. She's trying to save her people because of what Bree did to her. I mean, Captain Marvel did to her and her people. So yes, they pretty much made this bad guy a sympathetic villain again. I am kind of getting sick of this woke narrative that if a woman's the bad guy, it can't just be her being a fucking bad guy. It's got to be some big reason why she's done this. Can't she just be a fucking villain? I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, how the hell can you root against her? She's trying to save her people from what Captain Marvel did to her and her people. We then get a scene that pretty much explains it. That Captain Marvel came back to the Kree, destroyed the AI that was controlling their planet, thinking it was going to free her people. And this is why they call her the Destroyer. Because when she did that, she pretty much destroyed the Kree homeworld, Hela, whatever. And the people are suffering, and so Darbine is trying to get them help, is trying to get them resources. That's the bad guy in this film. The writers are fucking stupid. What the fuck? So, technically, in a certain way, Captain fucking Marvel is the bad guy of this film. Technically. Unbelievable. So, yeah, we leave that scene where she promises her people she's just going to get better, they're going to rebuild the Kree Empire and all that shit, and we go back with Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel and Monica, where they get onto this sea planet where 90% of it is ocean. They get down there, and it turns out Captain Marvel is kind of a bit worried to go on this planet because she's not just a normal person on this planet. She's very famous on this planet. And it turns out on this planet, she's a fucking princess. She married the prince. And we keep getting this whole fucking story from Captain Marvel that is, oh, it's not about love. Oh, I don't love the guy. Oh, this is a marriage of convenience. And it was kind of just like, okay, I get it. The guy's probably gay and he's using you as a cover for that. So nobody can question him being king because he's got a wife. I get it. Fun fact though, we never find out why they got married, by the way. I fucking bet you that's one of the fucking scenes that were taken out of this fucking film. Just the scene we had the whole Brie Larson talking to the fucking Asian guy and him saying, I'm gay! I needed this marriage for convenience. And they just took that scene out because, again, just too much time. And who the fuck cares? And that scene they're basically going to take out anyway when they send it to the Middle East. So, what's the point anyway? Yeah. We also find out from Captain Marvel that these people don't speak normally. They communicate through song. Yep, we got a fucking singing number in this fucking film. I've watched Bollywood films, okay? I like those types of films, okay? I get it, they go into a nice dance number. But you do realise You're not in a Bollywood film. You're in a fucking Marvel film. Why am I watching a fucking film where the arseholes are singing with each other? That is not a hero movie. That is not a Marvel fucking movie. You're telling you singing and dancing? Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. So we just go through all this shit where Captain Marvel has to start singing with people. Everybody's singing on this fucking planet because that's the way they communicate. We then meet the fucking prince who then starts dancing with Captain Marvel. And then Captain Marvel does her singing number. Then she stops the music and, well, stops the guy singing and says, can we actually talk? And it turns out the guy is bilingual, so he can actually speak normally. I mean, apparently that's bilingual now, not singing whilst talking English. Okay. So she tells them, yeah, we need to prepare for war because the Skree are coming to take your water, so you need to be ready for that. And again, it did feel like this scene was supposed to be longer. And it definitely did feel rushed. Like, a lot of this film, it just feels rushed. And this scene did. It feels like they just wanted to get them to that point of just having a fight with the Kree. But originally they were going to have this massive scene with the prince, where the prince was going to go into his whole fucking life shit. And Captain Marvel was going to go through all this emotional crap too. Looks like they just took that out because save time. Anyway, so the prince gets his army, you know, assembled, and then the Kree arrive and call them traitors for, you know, working with the destroyer. They have a fight. Captain Marvel, you know, goes all Superman and starts destroying ships and fighters. Tells Miss Marvel and Monica to do what they can for the civilians and, you know, fight as much as they can. And then it kind of looks like they can't really do that much, so she just tells them to go into the ship and, you know, lift off and get out of here. Also, Fury is there with his space station, trying to rescue as many people, I think, on that planet as well. I'm not completely sure on that. There was also a side story in this episode where Kamala Khan's family is on the space station. The space station also having these mysterious eggs that look like brains turning up in all over the place. And, you know, Fury doesn't know what to do with them, just tells them to kind of concentrate on the big stuff and just worry about the eggs later. And then one of the eggs hatches and it turns out to be a fucking cat. So these are how these weird alien cats are born. They just come out of eggs for some reason. And the cat that ripped out Fury's eye, Fury's okay with him. They're now the best of friends or something. It's like, hold on. So not only did the writers destroy Fury's character by saying that's how he lost his eye, you're now telling me Fury is okay with the cat that ripped his eye out? Are you fucking kidding me? My God, do you remember that scene in Winter Soldier when Fury pulls up his fucking eye mask? And it says that deep scene, you know, about how his eye got ripped out and stuff. It's just weird. They just destroyed that moment in fucking Winter Soldier. Because anytime I watch that film and see that scene, I just know his eye got ripped out by a fucking alien cat. It's just so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, the battle on the planet's not really going well. The Kree are kind of winning. They're sucking up all the water from the oceans of the planet. And they can't really do anything to kind of stop this. Captain Marvel can fly. She's kind of dealing with as many fighters as she can. But Monica can't fly the ship right. So Captain Marvel has to run back to the ship, try to pilot it, and try to get them to safety. But unfortunately, she's going to have to abandon the fight against the Kree and not save her singing planet people. And when Miss Marvel and Monica keep telling Captain Marvel, we have to get out of here because... But again, Captain Marvel doesn't want to leave and abandon the planet because she knows if she does that, the planet's doomed. But Monica and Miss Marvel have to keep reminding Captain Marvel that they have the bracelet. if Darbine gets the bracelet, she'll become more powerful, and they might not be able to stop her. And they keep telling her there's too many fighters, there's too many bad guys to defeat. They need to get out of there. So Kamala Khan takes control of the situation, activates the portal system, and they get out of there. The ship crash lands on some random planet. All three get out of the ship, where Kamala Khan keeps apologising to Captain Marvel and says, I'm sorry, I know you didn't want to abandon those people, but if she gets the bracelet, those people are going to die, and we can't let that happen. And Bree's she gets that, and she's angry she's pissed off, but she doesn't blame Miss Marvel. And then it turns out the reason she didn't come back to the planet to see Monica was because she found out what happened to the Kree after she destroyed the AI. She didn't want Monica finding out that she's a destroyer and that she destroyed these people to the point where they are now destroying other people. So again, all of this is her fault. And she's been trying to somehow fix this, and it's not been working. It's been taking too long for her. By the way, I thought she went out to outer space to find the Skrull a home, and now you're telling me she just sidelined that mission to deal with this mission. So you've screwed over the Skrulls and put them in a pretty much position where they are now desperate enough to try to kill people on Earth, to try to take over our planet, to go help the Kree by attacking the Kree. I mean, this film is so fucking ridiculous at points. It really is. I mean, for God's sake. So you've given up on that plan. Did you tell Fury about that plan? I mean, about the fact you sidelined the Skrulls, planet searching mission to go deal with the Kree. Because in Secret Invasion, you're kind of not talking like that. Or at least Fury isn't. Because Fury keeps telling the Skrulls that you're around looking for, places for them to go. I mean, okay. And this is why you don't go back to Earth. Like, you were on Earth already, though, when you were fighting fucking Thanos. You didn't pop in to see Monica. I mean, I don't really give a shit. But if I'm looking at the writing, this is just horse shit. It really is. Oh my God. Anyway, Monica forgives her. Miss Marvel hugs her, and they all agree to work together and, go find Darbine and stop her from, destroying any other planets or taking any other things from other worlds. When they get back to the space station, they pretty much figure out, or at least Monica figures out, they're going to try that Darbine is going to steal their son, because apparently the Skrull's son is dying, and they need a new one so the planet doesn't die. So they're going to steal our son. So Darbine is going to go steal our son to save her planet. So all three agree to work together to go fight Darbine. And what's happening on the station is the station's falling apart to the point where it might crash land. So they're evacuating, but they don't have enough evacuation pods. So Fury comes up with the stupidest idea. I mean, it works, I'll give him that, but it's just so fucking ridiculous. So apparently, because of this miracle of the cats, being a shitload of them on the ship, Fury's idea to save what's left of the people is to have the alien cats, swallow what's left of the crew, so he can fit more cats on the life pods than he can more humans. Because apparently these alien cats can swallow massive shit and it just doesn't go anywhere, apparently. So yeah, you just get this funny scene, or at least this really cringe scene. We just see the crew running away from the escape pods, basically. I mean, Fury already explained to the fucking crew that this is the best option, and why would Fury lie to them? So why are you not just giving up and letting the cats eat you? I mean, it was such a ridiculous fucking scene. Like, Fury has told you this is the plan. Why are you running? It's, again, it was just have these stupid scenes where the cats are just running after people and sucking them up. Oh my god. Like, the writing in this is just piss fucking poor. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, so Fury's able to get what's left of the crew on the escape pods with the cats and Kamal's family. They get into the escape pod and launch off. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel and Monica get onto the shuttle and head off to fight Darbine. And whilst they're going through the portal thing, it sucks up Fury's life pod, and then it shuts, and then the life pod gets thrown down to Earth, where Fury starts panicking, and where Kamala's brother, dad, or whatever starts praying, and we get the fucking cringe-worthy joke. He's like, stop praying, and he says amen and all that shit. Ugh, I don't really care. And the pod lands, where it crash lands on Earth, and then everybody gets out of the life pod, everybody's okay, and the cats start, throwing up crew members. Yay! We then have to have what has to be the worst and quickest final boss fight, I think, in Marvel movie history. So they get to Darbine. They then have a shitty conversation with her about, don't do this, you're not evil, blah, 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 blah. And Darbine does her shit. It's like, oh, the destroyer who destroyed my world, and I'm going to make you pay, blah, blah, blah. They had this boring fight with her. It was supposed to apparently be epic. It didn't feel epic at all. And, fucking hell. And by the end of it, where Darbine has been defeated, all three of them pretty much tell Darbine they have a plan to save her fucking planet, where she doesn't need to steal our sun. So Monica says, hey, Captain Marvel, you're very powerful. You've got this energy inside of you. If you go inside of the Skrulls' sun and activate your powers, you will put up enough energy to restart their sun and save their planet. And that sounds like a plan. And I was kind of like, oh, well, that's fucking boring. That's a boring way to end the fight. Oh, no. There's none. This is the Marvels. This is Disney Marvels. They're not going to end it like that. A sane plan that will save her people. No. What do we get? Darbine grabs... she grabs Kamal Khan, takes her fucking bracelet, puts it on her hand, and oh my god, apparently this activates ultimate power inside of her, but unfortunately the power is just too overwhelming for her. By the way, throughout this movie, she was kind of getting warned about this, like, every fucking couple of scenes. Don't put on both the bracelets, because if you do, it will overpower you and kill you. And that's how the fight ends, with Brie Larson throwing Darbine out of the fucking ship, and the bracelets literally disintegrating Darbine. So Darbine technically was not defeated by Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel and Monica. She was defeated by the fucking bracelets she's been looking for the entire film. And that's how they save Earth, because Darbine fucked herself over. Oh my god, this is piss poor writing. This is fucking shit. My fucking god. But unfortunately, when Darbine blew herself up, she ripped a hole in space-time continuum, and if they don't close that hole, it's going to destroy the entire universe. So, Monica comes up with a plan, and she has to use all of her power and Miss Marvel's powers and Captain Marvel's powers, put it into herself, and use that energy and power to close the hole. And that's what they do. Shoot of all their power into her. She uses it to close a tear in space-time, but unfortunately she has to stay on the other side of the tear into the, parallel universe. Captain Marvel tries to run out to save her, but she has to close the tear now, which is going to destroy the galaxy. So she closes it, says goodbye to Captain Marvel. The tear is closed. Captain Marvel doesn't get there in time to save her, and boom, Captain Marvel loses Monica, and she doesn't know how to get her back. The last scene is just Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel telling Fury about Monica's, disappearance. Brie Larson moving into her friend's house with the Khan family helping her unpack. And we then get the cringiest scene of the episode, where Kamal Khan tries to do the exact same scene in Iron Man. The end credit scene where we're first introduced to Nick Fury, where Nick Fury tries to recruit Tony Stark into the Avengers. They tried to do that scene in this one. And I get it's a joke. I do get it. It ain't fucking funny. It is just not fucking funny. And that's how the movie ends, with Kamal Khan doing this stupid fucking scene with Hawk Girl or whatever. I didn't watch that fucking Disney Plus show. I don't know who the fuck she is. And that's how the movie ends. Oh, we also get the end credit scene where it turns out Monica is in a parallel universe with her mum is still alive, and we see Hank in the shittest version, I think. Again, the CGI in that scene looks crap. It did. It looked absolutely crap. And so she is in a parallel universe where it's just the X-Men and no other heroes, apparently. And that's how the movie completely ends. A 1 out of 10. This film is garbage. This film should have just been sent to Disney Plus, like, straight away. There was no point in having this film. This film is going to fail. This film is a disaster. Holy shit. What a joke. And that's the end of my review. If you like this review, give it a like. If you dislike this review, give it a dislike. If you like my content, do think about subscribing. And if you have a comment, do think about leaving one, and I'll try to get back to it as soon as possible. Entertainment World Soldier, bye.